Hey, it's Mark, and I'm back with another video. I just wanted to talk about a few stocks real quick because I don't think that I can really always encapsulate all of my thoughts in these 30-minute videos because I have a lot of sort of macro thoughts too, and big picture ideas, and mostly I just want to talk about my sort of short-term setups in this video, and some of the ones that stocks I've been watching, and some ones that I just recently found yesterday when I did some scans. So one of the ones that I've been following and trading is RGTI, the Rigetti. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but we'll just call RGTI. So this one's been a good trender, and it's a quantum computing company. I consider it speculative, even though I imagine there will be more advances in quantum computing in the future. It's still pretty speculative in my opinion, and I don't quite understand how their cloud quantum computing works, but it sounds like you basically can access a quantum computer through their cloud. But just being a small company and not the best profitability, we'll just consider it speculative. But that hasn't stopped me from trading it. So I traded it earlier, like last month, and I had a really good return on the 250 calls because I was buying it in the uptrend, and I sold right when it was over 250. I think it went one more day, like I missed the top by a day, but because I sold it like on this day, I believe, and then it had one more day, but so that was a good one, and I sold those calls, and then I bought the $5 or $7.50. I think it was the $5 strikes, and those just went against me really bad, but I still got them, and so I've been watching the stock still, and you can see this long-term flat trend line here. It's acted really well off of it. Like you see here, found resistance, and then it's what it blasted off of back in July, about the 160 a share area, 159. Yeah, 159, 160 is that strong support level, and it really took off of that level back in July, and it did it again just yesterday on Friday. It had a huge spike. It's actually the biggest spike it's had on the stock price, or maybe it's really close to that day here. It might have been more that day, but anyway, it is a big spiker, and it came up and tried to reclaim this trend line, this trend support line. I like to keep it really simple with trend lines. Like, that's just what I've found that works, at least for without doing a lot of quant analysis and stuff, like on moving averages. Like, moving averages, I mean, if you don't have a track record with them, the stock acts a certain way, it's not really useful. But the price levels are more, I would say, quantifiable actually, because the buying and selling off the price levels is more concrete than, say, a moving average, which is a lagging indicator in itself, and doesn't sort of mean much in the context of price, because at the end of the day, the price and the volume is what drives the stocks higher. It's like what people want to pay for it. So if you if people are willing to buy at a certain price, then that becomes a support level. So it just works for me using these lines. So I mean, in hindsight, I really should have taken a stab at this support level, because it held the 159, 160 again, and but it still looks good. I still think it'll probably get some follow through off of this. When you look at this, I kind of think of this as a long flag here. It just, when it's gone down, it just flags and then keeps breaking out. So the volume was pretty crazy too. It was they just reported earnings, so the market likes their earnings, it seems. So that's all that matters, is the reaction. The market's reaction is more important than the information, actually, because we're not trading you can't really make money based on the information. You make money off the price, what the price does. So if the price is moving, then that should be your gauge of whether it's successful or not, of course, because we trade to make money, not be right on data, economic, or data and even earnings or whatever. So it's looking good. Like you could tell by the volume this volume was pretty light, considering the size of the volume on the last big day. Like, you see all these flags where it flagged, the volume was less than these big green spike days. So that's what's going on with this stock. I think of course I'm just going to hold my calls, and I may buy more if it starts to continue to uptrend here. Some other ones that I found were the ones in the short bias scans. My position right now is there's just more opportunities in these shorts than there is in even in breakouts or base stocks. But my favorite ones now are just ones that are coming off of a bit of a base, like a bottoming out process. The strength is really sort of dwindling in a lot of companies that have already had run-ups. But I'm watching some too there. But let's just go through some of these shorts real quick. I found FATE, FATE. It's got a nice downtrending chart for a short, and it's down off of earnings, and that would have been the opportune place right there to short after their earnings reaction, because it's reacted negatively. So I suspect this one's just going to keep going lower. And let's see, in the long term, the lows were 402, so it's definitely taken out some major long-term support. It's another one of those 2001 burnouts. A lot of these stocks, they hit their highs in 2001 to 2020, and just they've just been fading out since. But it's a buyer, so it's mostly a technical play. It's a good short on any weakness, because you can see it likes to go down, and it has the look of strong short seller strength. The other one I found is MAXN. It's solar. Solar's been particularly weak, and sort of standout weak now. Even with oil going up, I think that's even more of a indication of the weakness. So this one, I actually didn't find it in my gap down scan. I just found it looking through energy stocks because I did see some energy stocks spiking, but it's got a nice bull trap up there. It's a failed signal. It failed to break out, so it's now a bull trap, and it took out a bunch of major support levels going back to March. And this is just really a perfect rounding top pattern. Just goes all the way up around and then breaks down. So in the long term, it's pretty choppy, and it's got major support is 1480s, roughly down to 1470s. So let's just draw that up. I always like to pull out on the long-term charts. Like the more years I've looked at charts, the more I just like to back up and look at the long-term chart and really see what how it's acted in the past, and what we're dealing with as far as price levels. Because the price levels, like I was saying, is the most important thing is the price. So that's what everybody uses. The fundamental people, they're most people that are buying these stocks is like institutions and big investors. They're looking at the price from a investing standpoint usually, and so that's actually what factors into the levels too. Like Tesla, when Tesla bottomed, what was it, $100 a share earlier in the year, last year, there was obviously a lot of people with their fundamental analysis that it was a good value, that price it bottomed out. So that's what the technicals came out to too, so that's how technicals factors in with everything in the price. So it's pretty much testing this big level here. You see it held this level 3 times in the past, well, almost 4 times. But this rounding top here looks pretty ominous. But I may look into the fundamentals in this one too. I mean, it looks like it's not doing good, but my hunch is this one's just gonna go lower and test the 10s and 9s a share. So that's a good short. Getty has earnings on Monday after close, and this one, it's potentially a good AI disruptor play. Like there's a lot more competition for images now with AI tools, so I think that's a big factor right now. I mean, they may be able to mitigate that in the future somewhat, but my stance is it's gonna be bearish for the stock in the near term. But I've been really surprised in a lot of stocks lately. Even some of the weak stocks I was looking at, they've been surprising to the upside on earnings, and it's just that kind of market this year where the expectations were so low for a lot of these companies that they're blowing out the expectations, even though it's not amazing performance. They're just doing a little better than they thought they would. So this one, I'm just gonna wait for the reaction. But it's really the safest thing to do is just wait to see how it reacts after earnings, because it'll probably get follow through if it does actually have a bad earnings report or guidance. So that's one to watch too. The SSTK is the same kind of thing. It's an image company. I think they're actually working on AI, so they're actually trying to to sort of hang in there with the AI. But it's not doing well either. So this one's a short too on any breakdown. If it takes out these levels here, like 44, or I'm sorry, rather 42, 42.20, and especially 41.76, I think it's going to go a lot lower. APCX, this one's a supernova. I mean, it looks like it's topping out here, but I like to see it up a lot more to short it, but it's not really my favorite short here. But it's one to keep an eye on. Maybe it'll go higher. I think I talked about this one the other day. It's one of those just where the sellers and shorts are in control. It's just got this stair stepper down, and it's just down every day. So the play is just to short it when it breaks down again. CTR, that was another short idea. This one's looking really good. Like looks like it's having trouble here at this level. So that one's a good short too. Let's go on to some longs. Oh yeah, the CLOV still hanging in there. It had a really good reversal today. It's kind of a bullish engulf there. It's got an engulfing candle going there. If it takes out the 154, so it hits 155, that's a big time bullish engulf. So I still like that. I like that one as a long. The recent one I found, I just found not that one, RSI. This one has a really nice flag right here. It's got it's got like it's got what I was talking about. It's got a good base going here. See, it's kind of gone flat and bottomed out, and it bottomed, or it's trying to do a major bottom here. If it gets over the 450s, if it gets over the 450 area, it's definitely a confirmed bottom. But the thing I liked about it was this flag is really clean. It's got a good, see it flagged here, and it's flagging again right now, and it's threatening to just sort of take it out. And there's some good volume after earnings right there. So this is one of my favorite long watches right now. It's like a gambling stock. So that may finally get some rotation. The SPOK, that one's hanging in there too. It's been up a good bit since I found it, and I've got some good hopes on this one for the long term. KSCP, it's another small cap robotics company that has really good growth, and I think it's undervalued long term. So I like this one for the long, like an investment. I've been watching Google too. Google, it's coming up against this major trend line here, this major trend support line. It's pretty much been in, it's been consolidating, and it's kind of in a channel right now. It could easily go higher based on the technicals, but I'm watching it to see if it breaks this trend line, because it's testing this big time trend line, and it's got a lot of support around 126. So yeah, the Qs and the semis are a mess now. Like I'm still bearish on them short term. It's just taking this channel down even farther now. Like I think it's going to turn into a channel, but so it's going to have a bounce day at some point. But it's just not bullish at all. It's more bearish. And the semis were bad too. They're just kind of going even more volatile now. The TLRY, I still got some calls in this one. It looks like a flag. See how the volume is decreasing? It looks like another flag like this one. So maybe based on this candle, it could go up tomorrow and just start to break out again tomorrow. Usually these candles, they'll turn into a support level. A lot of times they do this this hammer, and then there'll be a shooting star, and then there'll be a hammer candle the next day. So tomorrow, I think it's going to get some. Tomorrow it'll probably get some momentum back. At least try. The NRDY came back too. It's held that level, kind of like the RGTI. Just it's kind of holding some support levels. But yeah, IWM. This is a big one here. This blue line is the long-term trend support. Goes back to summer, and it's testing it right now. Like you see here, it kind of dipped down and came back up. So it actually failed right there. That might be I mean, in essence, that's a failed signal, because it failed to break out on Thursday. But this is the channel to watch right now. This channel right here. See, really tried to do it on Thursday, but if it doesn't break above this, it's going to be bearish, and it's going to take out this major support level. I'm still bearish on China. I've got puts. I think I rolled them, and it's just got some really good bearish technicals going. This looks like a channel here. You can see the channel. Trades pretty well in technicals. Once it trends, it just keeps trending. So it's going to keep trending down until it hits this support level, and then we'll see what happens. Because it's like it likes to hold this. It likes to trade in a channel. So this channel's been going on since February. Well, really, it was kind of back in December. It held some levels in December. So that's the key support level to watch for China. This support line. I think it's going to test it. It's going to come down some more and test it. But we'll see what it does after that. Because everything's looking pretty weak in China as far as the information that we can get. Let's see if I've got another watch list. But yeah, the energy. Yeah, the EGY. I called that one yesterday as a long, or on Thursday, and it had another good spike day. I think this one has a really good. This one has a really good shot of going a good bit higher this year. See, it's got resistance in like 570s, but it broke. It's convincingly broke this long-term downtrend. That's what I was talking about in the other video on Thursday. Is it retested these levels and just blasted off for earnings too? So that's a good one for a buy. I'm not sure if I already bought calls on this one, but at this point I'm just gonna, it's better to wait for a dip. I see if it'll dip down a little bit, but I kind of like it more than AMPI right here. AMPI's kind of it's going back into this channel, which is not good. KLXC is kind of doing the same thing, but it looks like it has a good base going. Like, it looks like natural gas. It's got a good support base. Looks like a lot of other energy stocks are up too. This looks like a good one. MRO. It's breaking above a bunch of resistance level here. It's kind of got this weird. It's like a pennant right here, like it's just a messy pennant. Can't even call that a flag or anything, but I don't see them like that much. But anyway, it's breaking out of it, so it's got a good enough base too. It's got an uptrend. So MRO is another good one to watch for continued strength. If it keeps breaking out, it's a good one. I'll add that one to my main watches here. WTI. Yeah, a lot of these stocks are stubborn, but there are a lot of oil and energy stocks still breaking out there. But I'd rather buy something that's at the beginning of a trend. Like XOP, still pretty strong. What else we got? Free. The VIX is still, it's kind of sideways. Yeah, I don't like the VIX as a play on shorts. I think that's about it for my watch list and the stuff that I was looking at. Yeah, we can look at gold real quick. Gold's got some it's got some bearish technicals in the short term. You can see it topped out here. See it, it's a double top, and then it tested resistance. It tested these levels, failed, tested, failed, and it's in another downtrending channel like this last one, like it did in June. So I mean, it kind of went sideways after that. It bounced, but in the very short term, it's bearish until it breaks above this downtrend channel. Like you can see back here, it did it, and that was the indicator. So if it keeps breaking down, if it keeps staying in this channel, it's bearish, because it's just a downtrending channel. And oil's been slowly moving along too. It's just looks kind of like a flag again. It's not really as the momentum's not as strong as I've seen it in the past. It's just really slowly moving here. Like I like to trade it when it's really moving, like gapping up a lot, and really strong days. Like I did it back in July. It was pretty strong, but it might be stalling out here because it's kind of slowing down. But we'll see though. It's kind of been the one thing that's moving. And the PPH is one of my favorites too for longs. It's a breakout. The other one I watch is BAX. Hasn't really had a big move yet, like the other farmers, but it looks like this channel may be starting to break. It's in a downtrending channel. It's in a pullback. You can see it pulled back before and broke out, and it's pulled back again. But it looks like it reacted pretty poorly off our earnings. So my favorite's still PPH, but this one might be a sort of a long shot because it's not up so much yet. So those are the ones I wanted to cover today, and just wanted to get those thoughts out there. I'm gonna do another video tomorrow if I find anything else it's interesting, and maybe I'll share some thoughts on my macro outlook going forward as far as the industries go and stuff. But I'll wrap it up there and have a good weekend.